Hey, BubbaTac here, and this video is going to be about the completion of my AR-15 carbine build that I have personally dubbed Carbine Project Number 2. So this video has been a long time coming. I actually completed the project about 6 months ago, but I wanted to hold off on doing the video because I wanted to get an idea of how this weapon was going to function. I wanted to get some range time with it. If there were any issues, I wanted to fix those issues. And then when I came to you in this video to tell you how all these components actually function together, I would actually have a pretty good idea of it. And that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about what all these components are that went into making this actual project happen, and how those components function together as a unit. So to jump right into this, we'll go ahead and start with the lower receiver and all of its components. This is an Anderson Manufacturing lower receiver, standard mil-spec lower receiver. I selected it because they are so affordable. I got this one for $40, and I actually have a video, an unboxing video of it that I will annotate at the end of the video if you'd like to watch that. Its LPK lower parts kit that I used is also a manufacturing lower parts kit, specifically the stainless steel version, as you can see from the trigger, and the hammer is also stainless steel. Complete disclosure on all of these components, whether or not I had issues or not. I did have an issue with the Anderson Manufacturing stainless steel LPK. I actually got the stainless steel version because I'd heard there were less issues with it over the standard phosphate version, but I actually ended up having some issues. The first time I took it out to the range, the trigger would not reset. It would fire, the weapon would cycle, and then you'd have a dead trigger, and what you'd actually have to do is, because it was locked back here, you'd have to push it forward to get it reset. So there was obviously a burr on the operating surface of either between the hammer or the trigger. So what I did to remedy that was I just took a round file and just touched it. That's all I really did. I didn't file on it, didn't do anything like that. I just went to that surface and just touched it a little, and then from there I just worked that trigger probably 100 times over and over again. And when I went out to the range the next time, the issue was completely gone. I mean, once I had worked it enough to where I was satisfied it was going to work, and then it actually ended up working on the range, I didn't think it was an issue anymore. But full disclosure, you may need to keep that in mind if you're looking at Anderson Manufacturing for your LPK, your lower parts kit. There are a ton of them out there to choose from. Just off the top of my head, Aero Precision, Palmetto State, if they're in stock. These are some great LPKs that people have nothing but good things to say about. And in the long run, this Anderson Manufacturing lower parts kit did actually work in the end. It just needed a little bit of fine tuning. I probably will end up replacing the trigger and hammer in the future with something else, maybe a little nicer, but for now, since this is kind of a budget build, that's working quite well, and I haven't had any issues since I fixed those initial problems I was having. All the other components of the LPK from Anderson Manufacturing were great and functioned exactly the way they were supposed to. The next component I want to talk about is the Spikes Tactical Buffer Tube. This actually is just the buffer tube. I actually used the Spikes Tactical Buffer and the spring on another project that I did, but I actually do have a video that I will annotate at the end of the video about the unboxing of the Spikes Tactical Buffer Tube and Buffer Kit all together. They're a great component, a great kit. If you'd like to pick one of those up, I do highly recommend them. The stock that I actually chose is a standard Magpul MOE carbine stock. The particular coloration I chose for the carbine is flat dark earth, so I selected that stock from them. It comes with a nice rubber butt pad, and it's been real nice to shoot. Now there is a, I don't know how well you can hear that, but there is a little bit of wobble in it, but no more than what a standard stock would have. But These are $37 and you can't beat that. And when you're doing a affordable build and you want a slightly more upgraded stock over maybe a standard 6-position mil-spec stock, these are real nice to go with because they're affordable and they give you a lot of options. So to talk about the upper, what this actually is a Radical Firearms SOCOM barreled M-LOK upper. It came as a complete assembly. All I had to do was add a charging handle and a BCG, bolt carrier group, and I was good to go. What this actually entails is their mil-spec upper receiver and mil-spec upper parts kit, their FCR M-LOK monolithic rail system, and their standard mil-spec, sorry it's out of frame, their standard mil-spec flash hider, a SOCOM profile barrel, and there, I don't know how well you can see it in there, but their stainless steel gas tube. So I did a review video on this upper receiver and talked about things that I liked about it, talked about things I didn't care for on it. So please check that video out. For the money, this was $200, this entire upper assembly. For $200, you can't beat that. It is one of the best deals out there right now on upper receivers in my opinion, and so far from the shooting I've done with it, I'm impressed with its accuracy, even though this isn't a very expensive upper. So to continue with the upper and its additional components, the BCG I selected was a AIM Surplus BCG. This is their BDG bolt carrier group. This is their standard phosphate version. I selected this one because it was rather affordable, and I do actually have a video on it that I'll put in annotation at the end as well if you'd like to check that out. That is also a review of it and my personal opinions. The charging handle that I selected was a charging handle I already had laying around, which is the BCM Gunfighter. This is the Gen 1, I believe. Yeah, Gen 1 charging handle. This is the Mod 4 medium latch. The optic I chose for this is the Vortex Optics Strikefire 2 OPMOD, the Optics Planet modification, red dot sight. So I selected the Strikefire 2 because I've always really liked them, even from back in the day. It's a really affordable optic that gives you a whole lot. And Vortex really does make some great optics. This carbine, which was supposed to be a value style carbine, ended up costing me, for all the components, $477, which was a little over the budget I was wanting to go for, but it ended up having a lot of high value items put into it. With the optic altogether, it's $657, which $657 for a complete carbine and optics set up together is a great price in my opinion